A couple of years ago I went to the dinghy show in the UK in Farnborough. It was the first time when it was out of London, so it was just nicer for me to get to. And I saw this chap on stage talking about a sailing club called Cody. Cody, never heard of it. He said things like, you don't have to lock up, you don't have to do a duty, there's no clubhouse. What? No clubhouse? How can that be? Anyway, so further inquiries. It's all about dinghy cruising. It's all about community and it's all about family. And it's all about sailing as a fleet, staying together. Amazing ethos. So I had other commitments in the first year, but this year I was able to come along to their summer camp for the first time and experience what it's like. Now, they have long-standing relationships with landowners that have land next to the water where you would otherwise not be able to stay. And that's a real winner because you can roll out of your tent into your boat. And you can see behind me, I'm walking along the beach. This is the beach next to the field, which is next to the water. And so hopefully what you're about to see is a little snapshot of what it might be like on a Cody camp if you were to join the Cody Sailing Club. It's not class specific. I mean, the boats obviously need to be cruisy, but then having said that, this week I have seen lasers and a trimaran and kayaks as well. So it can be kayaks, so anything to get you out on the water. If there's no wind, we can go out on the kayaks. It's a really, really great week, superb value for money, and there's nothing to dislike about it. When we're sailing, we sail as a fleet. We make sure that no one gets left behind, no one goes speeding out in front, and safety is at the top of the priority list with the ethos of Cody Sailing Club. Anyway, enough rabbling from me. What you're about to see, hopefully a snapshot of what it's like. Enjoy. The first day was very calm, but a welcome break from the jet stream winds that the UK had seen in the so-called summer of 2023. While one boat accepted a tow, I decided to propel myself with a pair of trusty old oars. This trip was to the Greek Creek, and towards the head of the creek there were some interesting boats and buildings to see. Approaching the top of the creek, I was greeted by the rest of the fleet. So, time for lunch.
And I have you.
This bit dries out not long after high water, so lunch was not as lazy as normal. And there wasn't much water underneath my boat. I'm quite impressed how these barges got this far up. On the opposite side of where we beached there is this boatyard, the Greek classic boatyard. It has a cafe and toilets, and the food was very nice. There's also a seal rescue centre here in Greek, and as depicted by this image on the side of a bus shelter, and you can visit it, so you can pay a entrance fee and go and see the work that they do. On the way back, the wind filled in and I was able to sail rather than row. There's our landing spot ahead. Thanks to the following wind, it was quite a swift sail back. Only took about an hour. It was a lee shore, and so I decided to furl my head sail and then tie to a mooring buoy, and then I could easily take my mainsail down, and then I could part unfurl my head sail and go in under that only. This is how close our boats are kept to the water overnight. Obviously this is high tide, but any other time there is more space between the boats and the water. Also a bit of a misty start to this day, but it did clear by the time we set sail. This is the ex-lifeboat, the James and Catherine McFarlane. In fact, I did a feature on an ex-lifeboat in another video of mine, and there's a link to that in the description below. Here we are approaching Gillingvase Beach. I furled my head sail just so I had better visibility, but I was able to sail straight onto the beach.
Hi.
Did you have a good time?
Very nice. Nice to talk about now we've arrived.
Sorry. Oh, feather. Sorry, feather in. I thought you meant feather in this way.
You like, do you pass or anything or?
We beached the boats on an ebb tide, knowing that we had enough hands to lift them all back into the water after we'd had our lunch. Speaking of lunch, some had brought it with them, others opted to use the local cafes that were next to the beach. Very handy. There were also toilets and other shops and what have you. So all in all, it was a perfect lunch stop destination. Then after lunch it was all hands on deck to lift each boat back into the water.
I looked like
The boat centre screen now is a Storm 17, a beautiful cruising boat. The boat nearest to us now is a Javelin, no doubt named after its streamline design and sheer speed. It was a very quick boat. Later on, we approached another beach to make use of the local public house. We did that to wait for the tide to fill in a bit, which again would make life a little easier for us later on when we want to put the boats away.
As long as you do it in shallow water. You're not actually on the pontoon. You're going to go over there. You'll be having a look at it. Watch it, I think, the road
It was quite late in the evening when we left this beach to return home. It was a very long day. Perfect.
Immediately you have problems, yeah.
This day was a bit different. We started off by showing off our bottle rocket creations. Yep, you heard right, bottle rockets. This is launch control, and this is the launch master and the first competitor of the day. People had been secretly constructing their rockets in the days prior to launch day. We even had an official timekeeper logging the flight times. This was a 3-stage separation rocket, but stages 2 and 3 failed to separate. Apparently the pilot was a wasp. Not all rockets were airworthy. This newcomer to the competition had a very good opener. So people here are signing on for the chicken run competition.
Yeah, and then
The chicken run is a system where you get given a finish time, and then the course is the same for everyone, and then you have to decide when you launch the boat, given an idea of how long it might take you to sail the course, and then you have to cross the finish line at the time that you were given, the finish time that you were given. Obviously the person who crosses the finish line closest to their allotted time is the winner. The wind dropped for us and we ended up going backwards with the tide, so we got disqualified. I don't think we were the only one though. And if that wasn't enough excitement for one day, then we had the bottle boat race. I think a lot of these bottle boats were reconstituted bottle rockets from earlier in the day. I like the look of this one.
yeah.
Has it got a name?
Awesome 01.
Awesome 01.
Yeah. Took a lot of force.
Together and go
You've
inside.
got problems.
It's too wide.
It's too wide. No.
It's a bit the same. Now the straws are wet.
And what's it? Have you got a name for your boat?
Grace.
Grace. What's the name of your boat?
Joshua, what's the name of our boat? Was it?
Rafty Tafty.
Rafty Tafty.
Rafty Tafty. Oh, I like it.
With the sail.
What's the name of your boat?
Lucky.
Lucky. Lashed up catamaran kite yacht. What's this? Have this got a name?
It's a cart door.
Cart door. As in car door or cart door?
Cart door.
Excellent. Very good. Good luck.
It's not a very good one.
What's yours called?
Stop oil.
Stop oil. Stop oil. Very good.
Made from the hedgerow.
Excellent. Good luck.
This is collected rubbish and it's ocean trawls.
Excellent. But the idea is that you make a plastic bottle boat, stick some sails on it and then let it go, and the first to cross the finish line is the winner. There were 18 entries if I remember correctly, and after a series of heats we whittled down to a final, and 2 boats in the final we could decide a winner. And as the evening rolled on, so did the sea mist, which soon blanketed the entire area. But once the sun went down, we could only see what the campfire illuminated, so it didn't really matter.
So he can go waltzing, wah 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 waltzing, so he can go waltzing with bears.
We bought Uncle Walter a new coat to wear, but when he came home it was covered in hair. And lately I've noticed several new tears. I'm sure Uncle Walter's been waltzing with bears. He goes wah 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 waltzing with bears. Shaggy bears, shaggy bears. There's nothing on earth Uncle Walter won't do, so he can go waltzing.
We had planned a destination of Bream Beach. Well, it was a gentle start, so it took a little while to get to the mouth of the estuary.
And go. No, not go.
But once we did get there, we were in less sheltered waters, and so the wind picked up. Then we made our way to the rendezvous point, but the visibility was dropping quite quick and quite severely, and we did call the Coastal Watch on VHF channel 65 to get some assistance on what the weather might be doing, asking if it might clear up, but they couldn't help us either, so we made the decision to turn round and head for a beach that we hadn't been to before. And this is that beach. We stopped for a picnic lunch. There were no facilities here, but it was a very, very nice beach, very secluded and sheltered. It was lovely. We then sailed from here out past a North Cardinal to Helford for a few coffees at the Shipwright Arms. Again, we did this to wait for the tide to fill in to make boat parking easier for us a bit later on. This was our landing spot where we anchored our boats. And coming into view now is the Shipwright Arms. Now, if the tide had been higher, we could have sailed right up to it. And here's a fellow GP14, same colour as Skizmo, but a very different age. And then before we packed our boats away at the end of the week, we had one more little task to do, and that was to issue awards and prizes for all the events that were held during the camp.
Steph, there's a picture. One for the album.
And then, in the usual community-spirited way, we all mucked in to help each other get our boats up a rather slippery and steep ramp, ready to de-rig and get ready for trailering them all home.